Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you all. For good on people of Tube, hope you're feeling grand and always on your world. Hello there, everybody. Today's vid, people of Tube, I would like to have a bit of a chat, if that's okay. It's something that it's kind of like been living with me for a while now, and I kind of want to have a bit of a talk about it. I don't even know what I'm calling this video at this point in time. It's just something that came up recently, and something that happened recently and has kind of like stayed with me. So the thing that happened recently, if you've seen the video, was I got to play, thanks to ATB in Cheltenham, I got to play through Noel Gallagher's 1966 Marshall JTM 45. Now, Noel used this amp on What's the Story Morning Glory, like extensively. I think it was the amp he used on that album. So, and obviously, you know, all the subsequent B-sides were probably the amp as well. And it's also at the Nebworth show behind him. And it's also at the Main Road show behind him in his backline. And, like I say, thanks to ATB, they let me play on it and do a tiny little video. Because I'd been there that day to film the 59 Strat, the video of the 59 Strat. So I didn't really have enough time to do anything else longer with the amp, sadly. I was basically packing up when I decided I wanted to have a go on it and was talking to one of the employees there about it. And so I didn't really have time to really kind of like explore the amp, so to say, but I spent as much time as I could with it. I was probably with it for about half an hour, and I did the video on my phone. I did do a video on the camera as well. I did do another video on the Zoom cam. But the guitar I was using, the 355, because it was a really hot day, the guitar was struggling to stay in tune. And the video I did on the Zoom camera was just a little bit too out of tune for my liking. So I deleted that and I just uploaded the phone footage. But it was a really heavy... Like I said, I don't really know where I'm going with this video picture. It's something I feel I've got to talk about, though. Like I say, because playing for an amp was a really heavy moment for me. Because this is an amp that made the guitar tones that I grew up with. Like I said, I grew up listening to What's the Story Morning Glory. That was the main album I grew up listening to. I remember it coming out. I remember my brother going to get it from Woolworths and coming back and listening to it. And literally, we listened to that album so much. Like, you know, it reminds me of playing Resident Evil with my brother, like Resident Evil 1 and playing Doom. And just that period of my life, you know, and I would have been about 8, 9-ish at the time when that came out, growing up in the 90s. And just to play through the amp that did those songs was very emotional. It really was. It was because the thing is as well, people tube. This is kind of where I'm going with this one. It's the time traveling nature that music has to make you feel emotions that you once felt. It brings it all back just by listening to a certain sound, or certain song, or band. And Oasis has always been that band for me. Oasis was always that band that when I listen to them, it comforts me more than, well, not I won't say more than, but in a different way to say like John Frusciante or Jimi Hendrix does. You know, it's a different thing altogether. I'm very at peace when I listen to Oasis. There's a lot of memories attached to it, and a lot of feel attached to Oasis, especially like I say, What's the Story Morning Glory era. So you've got all sorts of stuff, you know, and also the B-sides as well. I remember getting my brother getting like the B-sides for like I can't remember. Some Might Say and like Wonderwall and Delta Back in Anger. And what's the other one? I forget the other one now. Roll With It. I remember getting the singles of these as well. Definitely Maybe wasn't really there so much. And then Be Here Now obviously was released later. And I remember listening to Be Here Now a lot. And Be Here Now is still one of my favourite albums of all time, along with obviously What's the Story Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe. but it was like it was very funny how it put me in a very reflective mood playing through that amplifier, and it just made me kind of like I don't really want to use the word nostalgic, but I suppose that's kind of what it is. But like Noel's music is very important to me. That man's music and the way he writes and him in general, he's a very, very important person in my life. Again, it's like Rick Mayall. You know, I grew up with these people in my life, even though they technically weren't, I didn't know them and they technically weren't in my life. But they're massive influences on me, one way or another. You know, Rick is a massive hero of mine. It always will be. I was absolutely heartbroken, and still am heartbroken that he's no longer around. Because I always wanted to meet him, and I never will now. You know, Noel is another person I would love to meet as well. I probably will never meet Noel, but you know, it's something that I would like to think would happen one day. I mean, I highly doubt it, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But I just love the ability of music as a time traveller. Like, you know, when I listen to Oasis, it takes me back to being 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And it's really nice because it's before everything went kind of like up the wall for me. You know, I remember, like, you know, listening to it, and it was before I was bullied. It was before I developed panic disorder. It was before I got PTSD from being abused that much at school. It's now scarred me for life. It was before all that dark period of my life. It was before my suicide attempts. It was before my manic depression, my want to not exist. It was all before that. And I clearly remember when I was 16 and I started playing guitar, I clearly remember raiding my brother's room for the Oasis CDs that we listened to when we were younger, because for a period of maybe 4 or 5 years, I didn't listen to music. I didn't want anything in my... There was nothing in my life, and because I didn't want life, you know, so there was nothing there. So I didn't listen to music. And when I got into playing guitar again, when I got into playing guitar, I wanted to listen to those songs again. So I raided my brother's room, and my brother wasn't really listening. My brother's musical taste had changed by that point, and he was listening to a lot of dance music and kind of like, you know, Gatecrasher kind of stuff. And I wasn't into that at all. I never liked that. And I just took the CDs. So I took What's the Story, Morning Glory, and Be Here Now, and the Oasis singles. And I asked for a CD player for my birthday, and I got this CD player, and I just remember kind of listening to, it was like a combination of like Green Day, Offspring, Oasis, and Linkin Park. But Green Day and Offspring, although I'd grown up listening to Green Day and Offspring as well, and bands like Nirvana, and I'll talk about Nirvana in a bit, Oasis were the one band that when I hear them, there is a feeling in me. And it's not just kind of like, when you hear a song and you like it, it's a full body feeling with Oasis music. When I hear it, it affects me very, very deeply. And it's sometimes it can be overwhelmingly upsetting, and sometimes it's extremely uplifting. And it is one of those, that Oasis are one of those bands that if I'm in a really kind of like bad place, will lift me out of it. Because it really just helps me. That you know, Noel's music, it helps me out of that again, because I grew up with it, and it has that healing property in it, because it reminds me of times before the darkness that descended on me that came after. And so to have been in ATB on that day, they only got that amp in the day before or something like that. I forget exactly when they said it. They hadn't had it very long, and they were still in the process of going through all the paperwork that came with it, because I went through all the paperwork as well, and there is quite a bit of it. Like, you know, there's a certificate of authenticity and stuff like that. And I love reading that stuff because it's really cool. And, you know, it's all signed by Noel and Vintage and Rare, and now obviously ATB have it. And to be in the presence of something that made sound that gives you comfort and also was a huge part of your life is incredible. I don't know the word, but and I'm still processing it. You can, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, PeopleTube, but I'm still kind of like in this place with it. And this is why I wanted to do this video today, because I want to know what bands time travel you. Either back to good times or bad times, or what do you listen to when you're down or you're upset and it brings you up? You know, what do you listen to? What is it? What, you know, I'll leave your comments below. I want to know what you listen to, because I say for me, the music of Oasis, it really was that I grew up with it. You know, that was a really awesome period of my life. You know, it was a very carefree existence at that point in time, and it reminds me of great memories. You know, like I say, playing Resident Evil with my brother, going out places, watching Oasis on Top of the Pops with my family downstairs. My dad saying they look like Thunderbird puppets. You know. So to really to be near that amp and to be able to play through it and hear it sing. I mean, granted, it wasn't massively loud, but it was something very, very special. And it's just another one of those reasons why I absolutely love and adore music so much. Because it can do that. It's got so much power. And like that whole ability to take me back to feelings that I couldn't remember. You know, I don't, and it's sad in a way, PeopleTube, because I can't really ever feel that way again because of what happened to me. But for that 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the song is, I can feel that. I can feel like I don't have PTSD. I can feel like I don't have anxiety or depression problems or mental health issues. And I think that is so incredibly amazing that music can do that. It's so powerful. And again, I stand by, I said it before in a video, I feel that music is the strongest art form we have as human beings. Writing definitely is strong, paintings are definitely strong, but I always say you don't get 50,000 people standing in the field for a painting. You know, not everyone can get paintings. Not everyone can get writing and stuff like that. But everybody gets music. Everybody gets music. Even like, you know, even if like, you know, and one of the things that really brought this to my attention, I remember, I'm slightly digressing here, PeopleTube, but I will come back. Was when my friend Charlie and his band the Broombuses used to come to play my hometown of Louth in Lincolnshire, and they would play at Cobble's Bar. Every time they came to that gig, every time they came to play, they would play reggae, they'd play Bob Marley, they would play Chuck Berry stuff, they would play Jimi Hendrix, they would play all sorts of stuff. Rock and roll, blues, and reggae. That's what they did. And every time they played, there wasn't one person in there who was going, I don't like this. You know, you had everybody in there as one. Everyone was there for the music. No one was there because they didn't like it. You know, and it was literally the most, you know, loutish human beings you could think of who just basically go out to start fights. They were there dancing. And then you had like people who were not so comfortable there with themselves dancing. And then you had people like massively introverted watching and people who are massively extroverted watching, and it just brought everyone together. No one was there for anything other than just to be and to live and to be part of it. And it was, and being able to be a part of it as well myself, like, you know, getting up with Charlie and playing this music. I remember playing like No Woman No Cry, and the whole pub just singing it. You know, 50, 60, 70 people, or how many people we was crammed into this little pub in Louth, singing No Woman No Cry. No one cares about anything. There's no one hating. There's no one going, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. You know, no one naysaying, no one this, that, and the other. And it's just total freedom of expression and being. And you can't really beat that. And to see it, you can't really beat seeing it or being part of it and feeling it. Like a couple of months ago in May, went to see Tool in Birmingham, and with Queenie, and there is something about that amount of people there at a music event, like a concert like that, all there for one thing, that is just insanely powerful. Insanely powerful. And there was people behind us and in front of us, and Queenie herself, actually. There was a few points where it got really... Tour are a very big band for Queen, so like they're a really big band for her. And there was a few times she was nearly in tears at it, because it was so kind of like, this is music she grew up on. You know, she grew up listening to Tool, you know, and it means a lot to her, especially the album 10,000 Days. And to see her react the way she was reacting and responding to the music, and also to see all these thousands of people, the way they react, it's just incredible. And again, I think this video is really about, and again, I don't really know why I feel like I have to do this video, but I have to do this video. It's that power of music is always there, and it's always so strong. And like I say, playing through Noel's amp the other day, I was playing through something that shaped my childhood. I was playing through something that was there. The sound of that amp was there every day for years for me, and still is there now. That amp made the noises that I heard. It's the guitar on Don't Look Back in Anger. You know, it's the guitar sound of that song. It's the guitar sound of all the other songs. Hello. You know, the guitar, electric guitars in Wonderwall and stuff like that. And it's like, wow. And it was very strong. It didn't feel too dissimilar to when I got to play John Frusciante's 335 and Jimi Hendrix's Strat. Now, I think I would have had a stronger emotional response to playing John's guitar if it was his 62 Strat, because it was his 335, and you see him with it occasionally, but it's not the guitars you associate with John. Same with Jimi Hendrix. This white Stratocaster is a guitar you would associate with Jimi, but it wasn't the guitars. You know, it's weird, but I would say that Noel's amp hit me harder than those two guitars. Not combined, but definitely hit me harder. And again, because of what that man's music means to me, and what that amp sang on, you know, what it played on, and what it did. It was at Nebworth. I remember listening with my brother to Nebworth live on the radio. I remember listening to that live. That amp was there. And I got to play through it, you know. And that's And that's insane. I mean, I don't think you could go back in time and tell 8-year-old me that, by the way, one day you'll be playing through an app. I wouldn't know what that meant. You know, I wouldn't know what that meant at the time. But it just blows my mind what power things have. And this is what I talk about with guitars. Not every guitar feels that way to you. You know, somebody's pride and joy guitar you could literally despise and go, no, that's not mine. But that's okay. That's the point. You know, you're not supposed to like everything everyone else likes. It's not the way. But it was very, very strong and very, very. It got me, and it was funny. I messaged my sister and my brother immediately when I got back here. I was like, I played through Knowles. What's the story of Monogoream? My sister went mental. My brother was like, what? And it was one of those things that kind of like, I wish I could have shared that with them. I wish they were there. Like, it was very, very, I don't know, it's very heavy feeling, PeopleTube. And I'm sure we all know kind of what that means. Like, you know. But yeah. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that, PeopleTube. So yeah, anyway. Let me know, comment section below. What music is it what band is it that transports you back in time? You know, what band is it that transports you back in time and gives you comfort? You know, let me know in the comment section below. I'd be very curious to read your comments on this one. And again, I don't really. This video I think I just had to do it. There was something I had to just get out. It's been kind of percolating in my head for a long time. I've just got to get it out more than anything, and it's really important for me to get it out. And I didn't really know where else to do it. I mean, I don't know, and I kind of want to share it with you, my thought process. So yeah, I'm kind of done waffling now, PeopleTube. So I am going to play something now, inspired by Mr. Knoll, and yeah, and I'll see you again for another video soon. I don't even know. As like I said, I still don't know what I'm going to call this video. I have no idea what to call it, but yeah, just let me know your thoughts on this. You know. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, PeopleTube. I'll see you again very soon. Friday, I've got a guitar. We're going to revisit a guitar on Friday that some of you will know. I've had it for a bit now, and it's undergone quite a lot of work. It's just over there, but you can't see it yet. But yeah, you'll see that Friday, this guitar, and we'll talk more then. But anyway, but yeah, let me know your thoughts, PeopleTube. Because like I say, I'm a bit funnied out by that. Anyway, in a good way. In a good way. Just, yeah. So I'll see you again, PeopleTube. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, goodbye now. Thank you.